Good evening, everyone. My name is Krisha Sarabone, also known as the Giant Slayer. And today, I thank you for joining me for this episode of Style Your Life with Krisha, where we talk about styling our life with purpose. My life's mission is to influence thoughts, to change behavior, and I am here today to help you to push past pain and passionately pursue your purpose. And like my title said, today we're going to talk about styling your life with no. So as soon as you come in, let me know that you can hear me. Let me know where you're joining me from. And we talk today about styling our life with no. So in the context of styling our life with no, it really talks about us getting the most out of our lives, us being the most productive. And sometimes we say yes when we really should be saying no. Not knowing your purpose, not knowing your mission, not knowing the vision for your life causes you to say yes to a lot of things that you probably should be saying no to. And there's some talk of people saying that they experience burnout, or they're tired, or they're frustrated, or they're overwhelmed. But really, if we sit to take stock of why we feel burnt out, overwhelmed, or tired, it's really because we are probably giving away too many yeses. Hi Jocelyn, hi Janelle. We are giving away too many yeses and overcommitting ourselves. And on that note, before I go on talking about styling your life with no, let's talk about us saying yes to things that we don't really want to say yes to. Sometimes because of, hey Javita, sometimes because of obligation, because of false responsibility, because of being afraid that people will judge us, we give away our yes. And when we give away our yes, in essence, what we do is we devalue that word yes. And we give our commitments to things that are really in line, not in line with what we want to do. We give our yes to things that really distract us from our purpose, just because we don't want someone else to have a perception of us, just because we don't want them to judge us, just because we don't want them to look at us in a certain way. But then what ends up happening is that we devalue our yes, we give it away, and then we can't say yes to the things that we need to do for ourselves. Anybody, am I talking to anybody here today, or am I only talking to myself? So I had to step back and take stock of what I was doing in terms of my yeses and things that I was saying yes to that I really should say no to. So first, I want you to look at your life in the context of what is important to me in this season. What is important to me right now? What do I need in my life to take me to the next level, or to take me to the next phase? And these are the things that we are supposed to be saying yes to. I always tell my Master Me elite students, I tell them, you bring people into your world. You don't allow them to pull you into theirs. And by saying that, I mean that you are in control. So you cannot allow your external environment, your social conditions, your fear of social judgment, you taking on false responsibility to cause you to say yes when you really want to say no. I was listening to one of my silent mentors, Brendan Bouchard, and he said, if we think about breaking promises, or if we think about blowing people off, as we think about going to a store and breaking an item, then we would be more cautious with giving away our yes. We would be more cautious with the things that we say yes to and the things that we say no to. Now let's dig our heels into that a little bit. Let's say someone asks you out to an event, or they ask you to participate in something, or they ask you to meet up, and you really don't want to say yes, but you do. And then when it's like an hour before the event, or 10 minutes before the event, you are now texting that person to say, sorry, I can't make it. Sorry, something came up. And in essence, you are making up an excuse to cover you giving away your yes without taking responsibility for it. And if we think about that in the context of going in a store and breaking an item, they say anything that's broken is considered sold. So when you give away your yes and then you break it, you have to look at that is you devaluing yourself in that person's eyes. That is you devaluing your commitment and your integrity. And integrity, I don't know about you guys, but it's something that is so dear to me. It's actually one of my pet peeves, because I say that my word is my bond, and my word is gold. So if I give my word, Bree, away to someone, I value my word. So when I tell you yes and when I give you a commitment, I know the value of that yes. So I am not giving it away freely when I really should be saying no. If you think before you give your yes away, then you would place more value on your time, you would place more value on your efforts, you place more value on your energy, and you maintain your integrity in the eyes of that person. So guess what? We need to stop saying yes to the things that we really don't want to say yes to. And we need to place a higher value on our yes. So in Style Your Life with No, how do I know what I should say no to? I should say no to things that do not add to my life in this current season. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have fun. I'm not saying that you can't have leisure activities. I'm not saying that you cannot support a friend or family member. But what I'm saying is you need to place a higher value on your yes. Because when you place a higher value on your yes, you will no longer give it away as easily. You will no longer overcommit, and you avoid burnout. You avoid even the loss of focus. Let me tell you how we lose focus, right? You may be in the middle of something for your life, or you may be in the middle of doing something, and then your phone rings. And because your phone rings, we are in a society where we are so pressured to say yes that you feel the need to answer that phone. But maybe that was a time that you were now gaining momentum on a specific activity. Why can't we value our yes and say no to that phone call? Why can't we value our yes and say no to that messenger alert? Why can't we value our yes and say no to that Facebook notification? Why can't we value our yes and say no to that Periscope alert? Why can't we value our yes and say no to that Instagram buzzing? Let me tell you guys a secret, right? I keep my phone on silent, right? Anybody who knows me, my assistant Shelly, she's like, I know that once you see the call, you'll call me back, right? And this is why I keep my phone on silent, because I value my yes. And I don't want to have unnecessary distractions. Not saying that my clients or my family members or people trying to reach me are distractions, right? But if I am in a creative mode, in a creative zone, or I am trying to accomplish something, listen, somebody's going to call me, somebody's going to text me, somebody's going to send me a messenger, and I know myself. Man, woman, know thyself. If you know you're going to get distracted by hearing that beep or that alert, turn it off. So I know, Bree, I know, Justin, the moment that I hear pling or ping or ching or some kind of chime, I am going to look at that phone and I am going to get distracted. So because I value my yes and I value my focus, I personally am just sharing ideas. I'm not saying that you have to, but I value my yes, so I silence my phone, I silence my devices, and then if I miss calls or I miss messages, etc., I call back or I text back, depending on what I'm doing. But essentially, by doing that, what it means is that I now pull people into my world instead of they pulling me into theirs. Because listen, their emergency might not be my emergency. Their need to talk in that moment may not be my need to talk. Their need to respond in that moment may not be my need to respond. And then when I allow notifications to cause me to devalue my yes, it means then that I break my focus, I break my momentum, I get distracted by another activity, and then that is essentially devaluing my yes, right? So that is why I turn off the notifications. There's some other things that I do as well. I may sign out of apps occasionally, or I may cause myself to just be in this zone where sometimes I even have to put my phone and my devices out because I'm always in a creative mode. I think even when I'm sleeping, my mind is creating. So I have to literally power myself down. I have to literally force myself to relax. I have to force myself to stop and not think about work, not think about replying to clients, not think about. So there are sometimes when I deliberately have to create an environment that causes me to value my yes. Is this helping anyone, right? Justin says this is so practical and it makes sense. It's very important to stay focused. Good. If it is decent, add some form Say no. Good. Yes. If it is distracting you, you say no. Absolutely. I'm looking at the comments. You love that. So I have to force myself sometimes to value my yes, because it is very easy for me to give it away. I'm always trying to be helpful. I always want to be of service to someone. I always want to reach out, but sometimes that causes me to devalue my yes. So today on Style Your Life with no, I'm telling you that no is a powerful word. It is a complete sentence, and it will save you from countless excuses, from countless drama, from broken focus, and from being distracted. So can we just do some practice in the comments? I just want you to type no. I just want you to get comfortable with saying no, because some of us feel bad about saying no, and we feel like we have to explain ourselves because we say no. I heard someone once say no is a complete sentence. It needs no explanation. Why, when we say no, we feel as if we have to explain? Listen, if you value your focus, if you value your life, if you value what you're doing, and sometimes you have to say no to you. Listen, that may be one of the most powerful lessons of today. You saying no to you. You saying no to you wanting to give up. You saying no to you wanting to throw in the towel. Sometimes your no is not even to other people. Sometimes your no is to yourself. You saying no to instant gratification. You saying no to giving up. You saying no to throwing in the towel. So we got to practice styling our life with no, because it will cause us. I see Bree says no ma'am, no sir, no way, no, right? So you evaluate what you say yes to and what you say no to. Do not overcommit, and do not commit because you feel that it is something that you need to have false responsibility or false loyalty over. Place a higher value on your yes, which means that people now know when you tell them yes, it is a value attached to that yes. Listen, we don't give away our yeses as if they are pennies. Our yes are very valuable to us. So you're not gonna take like $100 and just throw it into the wind, and that is, your yes is even more valuable than that $100. But if we bring it in the context of money, you may disregard a penny, but you sure won't disregard $100 note. Your yes is more valuable than that. So when you keep giving away yeses, you are devaluing your yes and you are throwing it into the wind. So from today, I want you to style your life with no. Say no to time wasters. Maybe you need to sign out of some apps. Maybe you need to unsubscribe from some things. Maybe you need to look at, is this necessary in this moment? Maybe you need to do like me, turn off your alerts. Come on guys, because we get so distracted. Social media can pull us into its world, and then we can lose track of our world. It can distract you from seeing your vision. It can distract you from seeing your mission, and it could cause you to be totally unproductive. So you need to begin to start your life with no. And when you start your life with no, you will begin to see your productivity increases. You will begin to see your focus increases. You will begin to see that you place value on your yes, and you can get more things done by respecting your yes and styling your life with no. My name is Krisha Sarah Bowen, also known as the Giant Slayer, and this has been Style Your Life with Krisha, where we spoke about styling your life with no. How many of you are going to begin putting into practice some of what I've shared today for your life? Because you know you are giving away yeses like crazy, and then when you look up, you are depleted, you are overwhelmed, and you have lost focus. So it's time for you to pull out some notes. It's time for you to pull out some no's, and to say no to things that are not really contributing to where you're growing, to say no to things that are breaking your focus, to say no to things that have absolutely nothing to do with where you are going and what you are doing for your life, and to say no to being sucked into other people's world. Remember, you are in control of your environment. Environment. You probably can't change your environment, but you can change your environment, which means that I have some measure of internal control. And once I value my yes, I can now control the things, the places, the people, the opportunities that I give my yes. You guys have an amazing Thursday, and join me next week for another episode of Style Your Life with Krisha. Hey Tommy, yes, please do share if you know there's someone on your timeline that needs to understand. Listen, I'm valuing my yes. Some of you probably just need to go put that up and say, I'm valuing my yes as your status, so that people will now place a value. They will now respect your yes, that when you give it, they know it is something that is precious. They know that it is something of great value. So you may need to go, hey Simone, and say, I am valuing my yes. You guys have an amazing evening. Take care. Bye bye.